Biggest achievement of our lives. When you grow up and no one asks what's your favorite dinosaur anymore. Seeing Buster get old hits me right in the childhood feels. Child, my stomach hurts. Moms, it's because of that phone. The end to a childhood legend. Ninjago has officially ended after 11 years. 2011 to 2022. If you knew this guy before this guy, you had an awesome childhood. Kid on TV has a temper tantrum. Me remembering all the dumb stuff I threw a temper tantrum over as a kid. Childhood is when you idolize Batman. Adulthood is when you realize Dr. Phil is an asshole who makes fun of people for money. Family, why do you love pizza so much? My TV as a kid. When you're 8 years old and you pick up a stick. No one. Kick balls that have been stuck in the middle school gym ceiling since 2011. Enjoy your childhood. Life only gets worse from there. It gets wars. Restricted area. The kids that are 1 year older than me saying big boys only year. 6-year-old me. Childhood is when you idolize Batman. Adulthood is when you realize cheese is really expensive. It's the same dream. I try to run, but my feet keep sticking to the floor. Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. 7-year-old me. They're the same picture. Girlfriend. Oh my god. I can't believe you didn't even flinch while watching The Invisible Man. Me who still has returning PTSD childhood trauma from this shit I watched as a kid. An accurate representation of going from childhood to adulthood. When you climb the slide without falling. I see no god up here other than me. Who to marry? Answered by children. How can a stranger tell if two people are married? You might have to guess based on whether they seem to be yelling at the same kids. Derek, age 8. What do you think your mum and dad have in common? Both don't want any more kids. Laurie, age 8. When is it okay to kiss someone? When they're rich. Pam, age 7. How would you make a marriage work? Tell your wife that she looks pretty, even if she looks like a dump truck. Ricky, age 10. Grandmother, you are such a handsome young man. Me. We didn't have play dates when I was a kid. Our parents kicked us out till dark. And the weakest among us ended up on unsolved mysteries like Mother Nature intended. The famous couches of our childhoods. Did the cartoons from our childhood have adult jokes to entertain our parents? Or did they have them for us when we grow up? This onion won't make me cry. Your favorite childhood show was probably meant to advertise toys. Childhood, adulthood, hood. Childhood trauma. This picture smells like cigarettes. The Chuck E. Cheese from my childhood would straight duck the new one up, duct tape him, and throw him in the trunk of an old Oldsmobile. Many lies have been told us in our childhood, but the biggest one is letting us believe this little shut was the good guy. This guy traumatized the hell out of several generations' childhoods. Westerners. People from former USSR. This is a no moment. Teacher asks a difficult question. All the kids trying to avoid making eye contact. Thank you for the great childhood. Promise you won't cry. I promise. Power Rangers actor and mixed martial artist Jason David Frank. 1973 to 2022. I won't cry. The stereotype of guys wanting a goth girlfriend goes back to our childhoods. When you find out your childhood favorite YouTuber's content has been reduced to cheap clickbaits. Look how they massacred my boy. My dad found a letter to my mom from a childhood boyfriend. His name was Leonardo. My name is Leonardo. I can't believe he didn't cry during Titanic. Do men even have feelings? Mini clip. Play games. 8 is childhood trauma starter pack. Someone. I wanna get to know you. Me. Alright, pick a category. When you're playing the remastered version of an old game and get to the favorite parts from your childhood. When you grow up and your favorite food from your childhood starts tasting worse and worse. So long, partner. My childhood. Me talking about my childhood. My therapist. So glad I grew up with this. And not this. Thomas and Friends. Miniclip, home of childhood nostalgia, is finally dead. 7 years old me in a parking area staring at random cars to figure out which one is a Transformers. This makes me sad, to be honest. Minecraft was my childhood. Minecraft will someday get its final update. Someone asks me about my childhood. Me thinking back. The following movie is rated R. My parents. 10-year-old me. What adults see. What kids see. 10,000 IQ downloading classic Game Boy games to relive my childhood. Immediately remembering how terrifying my childhood was. Harry tells me you're quite the science whiz. You know, I'm something of a scientist myself. Nobody, my mind at 3 AM, because of that one TV show from our childhood. How I remember my favorite childhood movie looking. How it actually looks. Having a good time. Sudden sad memory from childhood. Where 90s and early 2000s kids grew up. Kids' childhood fear. Men's childhood fear. It's a wild ride. Childhood. Adulthood. Clearly some of our young sticky protesters didn't read this educational book as kiddos. A ladybird book. Holy shit, we glued our hands together. When you randomly remember that one thing from your childhood. Dumb ways to die. Funny how this all started because they wanted people to be safe around trains. I have suspicion Disney changed one of my favorite childhood movies just to appeal to a wider audience. And this offends you because it deviates from a movie you loved as a child? No, it offends me as a racist adult. Dad, I had a happy childhood. My dad used to put me in tires and roll me down hills. Family, oh that's so sweet. Dad, indeed, those were good years. Did the cartoon shows from our childhood have adult jokes for our parents, or for us, when we look back at life? I don't need sleep. I need answers. The sad truth of life. Me as a child. My childhood. Wanting to be an adult. Adulthood stress and worries. Me. My childhood best friend. The second he hit puberty and had his first crush. Hard times. Childhood. This scarred me for the rest of my childhood. What a pretty looking soup chef. I sure hope a terrible accident doesn't happen. Every day what remains of my childhood slowly dies. Paramount Plus. Am I really going to defile this grade for money? Paramount Plus. Of course I am. Kuando, you're just looking for a recipe, but the web has a 10 paragraphs introduction about writers' childhood, their grandma and their health issues. Just give me the damn recipe. When you randomly remember an embarrassing part of your childhood. Me and my childhood years. YouTubers/influencers. Unfounded confidence. Age is criminal. Childhood. Now. I'm ready to resurface some childhood trauma. Watching the live action Pinocchio trailer. Realizing they are going to recreate the donkey scene. The biggest plot twist of my childhood. When you are having a good time, but then remember that Timmy Turner is actually a 60-year-old man because he made a secret wish that no one would ever age, so he could have his fairies forever. My whole childhood is a lie. Me when I found out that rainbows are actually a circle rather than an arch. You lied to me. How many other lies have I been told by the council? How I assume you look now, based on your childhood building set.